Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're going to do a quick video today because I noticed some errors from my students, and I'm sure it will appear around the globe of other students making some simple errors. As I've talked about a million times, you know how to divide because you've been taught how to divide. If you're in my class, you're an expert on the division part. But let's look at placing the decimal point. Because what I see many times is you do the division correctly, but you place the decimal point in the wrong place. So I'm going to do one problem. We're going to talk specifically about placing the decimal point. And I want to make sure that you're watching and we can get this done correctly. So don't just watch it, learn from it. Learning's important, girls and boys. So we have got the problem 23 and 1600ths divided by 6. I only used a one-digit divisor because I don't want to make it any more difficult as far as the process. The process is the important part. Notice you say the dividend first. So I wouldn't say, just because the problem is written like this, when you do it, you don't say 6 divided by 23 and 1600ths. 23 and 1600ths divided by 6. So that's important too, because if I'm saying, all right, what's the next problem you're doing? And you say it wrong, we're going to do it wrong. I'm going to do it that way. And then you're going to have to list the multiples of 23 and 1600ths times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4. And I'll make you do it because I can be a jerk if I need to. Chloe knows. Chloe gets mad at me. Oh, you didn't get mad at me when I sent that text to your mom?
Oh.
She got mad. She got mad. All right, first thing when we're dealing with decimals is the decimal point moves straight up. Then I'm done with it. I don't need to leave it in there. You don't have to erase it. But one common error I see is people wanting to move it down every time. You move the decimal point up and then nothing. It doesn't go anywhere else. Nowhere else. Yes, it has moved north to Alaska. It's moved north to Alaska. Most of you understand that. Okay? Most of you are good on that. It's the place in the decimal point where I see most of the errors. So, let's look at this first, and I'm just the whole class. Does 6 go into 2? No. 6 does not go into 2. Does 6 going to go into 23?
Yes.
I'm going to have a number above the 3. I'm going to only have the ones place. I am not going to have any more than 2 digit or than 1 digit in front of the ones place. I'm not going to have 0 digits in front of the ones place or in front of the decimal point. Only 1. And what I've seen is people wanting to put their 6 into 23 over the 2, and that jacks everything up. Okay, 6 goes into 23 how many times? Anyone? 3. So my ones place is 3, and 3 times 6 is? 18. And 23 subtract 18 is? 5. Now, I don't pay attention if I'm doing the math right, so please do that for me. Yeah, okay. Now, I know I have to have a number above the 1, and I have to have a number above the 6. This answer is going out to the hundredths place. I have to have a number above the 1, the tenths place, and above the hundredths place. After I multiply and subtract, I bring down my next digit. Now I need to take 6 into 51, and it goes in 8 times. And 6 times 8 is? 48. And the difference between 48 and 51 is? 3. And after I subtract, I bring down the next number, which means this is going to go in for the hundredths place, and it's going to go in 6 times. So how do we say my quotient? 3 and
86 hundredths.
Awesome sauce. 3 and 86 hundredths. 3 and 86 hundredths. Multiply, subtract, and 0. If it's 0, I'm done. If it's 0, I'm done. But because Mr. McMurdo just gave us a stern lecture on making sure our answers are correct, we're going to check it. What is the inverse operation for multiplication or for division? I just gave you the answer. What is it, class? Multiplication. So I'm going to have 3 and 86 hundredths multiplied by 6. Because I don't want another stern lecture from Mr. McMurdo. 6 times 6?
36.
6, and I carry my 3. 6 times 8?
48.
48 plus 3?
51.
I carry my 5. 6 times 3?
8.
Plus 5?
23.
How many numbers are behind the decimal point in the problem?
2.
2. My 8 and my 6. There must be 2 behind it in the answer. And that was our original dividend. So we're good. But placing the decimal points. I'm not going to mark it correct if you put your decimal point right here. Well, yeah, but I did the math right. No, you didn't. That's $38.60, not $3.86. Those are 2 different numbers. So just make sure you pay attention when you're doing the division of placing the decimal point in the correct place. On the menu, I noticed that quite a bit by many of you, which will make it easy when you correct it, because you'll just be able to put the decimal point in the correct place. Boom! Shakalaka. Peace out. God bless. Do something kind for someone today.